suck that much.
What's up guys, my name is Cadman 2013 and welcome back to the trashiest channel on the internet, Super Trash Gamers, and more importantly, welcome back to the Trash Review. But for the loyal family of the Super Trash Gamers, you guys know the rules, but for everyone that hasn't been here before, let me break it down for you and tell you exactly what this is all about. Here on the Trash Review, we rate objects, games, characters, levels, maps, pretty much anything you could think of on a 1 to 5 junk scale and save you the time of seeing just how trash it is. So if you get a score of 1, you might find your way off of the junk scale, but if you become a 5, then you pretty much cemented your legacy here on Super Trash Gamers. Now, I get it. You're new here, you're probably thinking, how the fuck do you even score this and what do you base it on? Well, let me show you. Let's take a look at each score and what they mean. Here at the Trash Review, the best score you can get is biodegradable. This score means that you aren't the best in the world, but you are close to being good and have the best chance to make it off the junk scale and help the community again. Next in line we have recyclable. If you get this score, then this means you're good in some ways, but overall you are individually junk. With this score, you are moving down the junk scale and have only a slight chance of making it off. Coming in third, we have garbage can. This is a middle of the pack score and means you aren't the worst we have seen, but you definitely could be a lot better. With this score, you can make it off the scale, but it is highly unlikely. The trash heap. There's really nothing good coming from being a trash heap other than you aren't last. If you get this score, then you showcase a lot of issues and bugs. If you are scored a trash heap, you are disliked by many and will probably stay on the junk scale. Last and definitely least is the dumpster fire. This sounds exactly as its name, and if you get this score, you should be thrown into a dumpster fire. Essentially, this means you are awful from the beginning and have seen no real improvements. You are widely hated and stand no chance ever coming off the junk scale. Now that we know how to play our evil little game, let's see what today's topic is.
Today's topic is a title from Serious Parody. It's classified as sports. It is 5-Star Wrestling Regenesis.
Relax. I know what you're thinking. Wrestling, corny, game I've never heard of. Where's he gonna go with this? Well, that's the beauty here at Super Trash Gamers. We review games that you never heard of so you can see if it's even worth trying them out or leaving them in the dark abyss of games that will never get purchased. And today, the exact example of that is 5-Star Wrestling Regenesis. Now, I myself, like many others who grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, and kind of close to that time range, grew up a big WWF fan. I'm not going to say WWE because it's really WWF. We all know that was the best time in the company. So I'm going to stick with WWF. And, just to throw it out there, Stone Cold, absolute favorite. But a lot of us grew up liking wrestling around that time period, and this is a way for us to get back to it on the new modern consoles. And a lot of us grew up watching it, which is why I picked this game to put on the Trash Review and to play it to see if it was actually worth it and go back to my childhood, or just leave it in the past. Now with WWE the way it is now, the games are not exactly what they used to be, and doesn't give you that bone-chilling feeling of what it used to be like to jump off ladders, hit people with chairs, and make them all bloody. Oh, JR, I'm feeling it. Nowadays, it doesn't feel like that old WWF. It just feels like a simulated acting class. And that's why I wanted to turn my attention away from 2K, the WWE game, to another wrestling game in hopes that I could see my childhood rooted into that game and it could appear in front of me again like it did in the days of old. So I did what any normal wrestling fan would do, and I jumped on. Within seconds, I realized whether I was going to love this game or hate it. So let's jump into my gameplay and see what exactly it is I am talking about. Alright guys, let's take a look into 5-Star Wrestling Regenesis and see exactly what we think about it. Alright, to start us off, we have Exhibition. Exhibition is to customize any match you want and play any match you want. Then we go down to Quick Play. It's pretty much just a random setting. It throws you into any match, any options, any settings that it wants to. Challenges are for tasks that you could complete during the matches to earn points to unlock costumes for your wrestlers. And then we get the tutorial for people who don't know how to play the game and pretty much have never played a wrestling game and need to know how to play, need the moves, need to be shown the moves. And then we go down to the unlockables, which are the costumes, maybe some characters that you can unlock within this game for your wrestlers. And then last but not least, options, so we can decide how we want to play and the best settings for us to play in. Now, taking a look into the exhibition mode, it shows you the different matches that we have here to select from. The first is a regular match, second is submission, then we go into 2 out of 3 falls, pinfall only, falls count anywhere, and then no holds bar. Then we have some rules, and then our arenas, we get the gym, we get the 5-star arena, the assault and battery arena, and the broadcast arena. And then just a quick look into the challenges. You got your challenges for each match, how you win the match, how much damage you do, different moves that you do within it, and then this will help you gain points to unlock more costumes, maybe characters later on. And then taking a quick look at the unlockables here, we have some of the wrestlers here, and I'm not gonna go into their names right now. We're gonna be doing that in a second, but we got different costumes for some of the different wrestlers here, and you could just unlock some of these. They do cost a hefty price, but the more matches you play, the more you'll get to unlock these. Alright, let's get into the wrestlers, and this is pretty funny because it's a parody game, so they kind of mimic WWE. So first we have Raging Andy Orton. His finisher is the RAO and the Career Killer. He is a heel, and his rival is Johnny Maivia. So yeah, this is pretty funny. I like how they did the Raging Andy Orton, the RAO. Obviously this is going off Randy Orton in WWE, so this is pretty funny. I like how they're doing this. This is a good start to the game that I'm first jumping into. I see this comedy aspect of it, so I'm liking it so far, and it hits home for all the childhood memories that I have. And then we go on to the next one. We have Uncle Curtis Angle, obviously mimicking Kurt Angle in WWE, one of the all-time greats, Olympic gold medalist. He has the Uncle Slam as his finisher. Dynamite Pegasus, I think it might be maybe an Ultimo Dragon or Rey Mysterio character. I'm not too sure where they're going with that. Maybe it's one of their own characters, but Dynamite Pegasus, I'm gonna say, is maybe Rey Mysterio. And then obviously they got the Pegasus Lock and the Dynamite Headbutt. Moving on, we got Greg the Hardman Hardy, also known as Jeff Hardy in WWE. Personally, my top 3, or one of my top 3 favorites of all time. Jeff Hardy is absolutely a legend, has put his body through hell for the business, and just loved watching him growing up. And I love that they put him in this game, but obviously here he's Greg Hardy, which is funny. He has the Karmic Twist and the Hardy Bomb, which is pretty funny. And his rival is our next character, and his name is Harvey D, also known as RVD, Rob Van damn. He has the All-Star Frog Splash as his finisher. Moving on, we got Johnny the Bull Maivia. He's got the Jabroni Slam and the Horn. Also, you know, you guys can make it out. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. No surprise there. Looks just like him. Looking forward, we have Mike Iceberg. Some of you may know him. He's Bill Goldberg. Goldberg was in WCW and then came over to WWE for a short stint. And Goldberg is one of the most dominant wrestlers of all time, record-wise. If you guys have watched it, you know why, but record-wise. But Goldberg is an absolute beast, and well, Mike Iceberg in this game, hopefully he's a beast as well. And then last but not least, we have Ragnarok the Conqueror. Anyone could see that it is Brock Lesnar, the human suplex machine. Welcome to Suplex City. Let's jump into an exhibition here, and we're going to go with a no holds barred. I want to see if we can use any weapons, see, you know, push our limits in this game, see what we could do so we can give you an accurate rating. And then we're just gonna set our rules here. No rope break, no count out. You know, we wanna have some fun here. And then we're gonna pick the broadcast arena. It looks the coolest to me, at least. So I'm gonna pick that one. And then, like I said before, I'm gonna go with one of my favorites. It's gonna be Greg Hardy today, and hopefully we can hit the Hardy bomb on him. And then we're gonna go against. Yeah, I mean, why not go against one of the most respected of all time? We're gonna go against Raging Andy Organ and see how we fare in this bout. So let's get into it. Off the bat, I mean, I know I'm skipping him here, but off the bat, the announcer voice sounds like something I would take off of my first generation iPod and put into the game. Not exactly the best quality, but I'm not going to knock them for an announcer voice. Like, that's ridiculous. That's not why I'm here. So, you know, we're getting into the match here. I'm just trying to learn the controls off the bat. It is a new game for me, so I just want to see if it's the same controls as pretty much every other wrestling game I played. You know, kind of just learn the ropes here, no pun intended. Let's call it hit detection is not the best in this game. You could clearly grab your opponent and or hit them. And it doesn't really detect it very well. I ran through a lot of issues with this while playing this game for this recording, and I wasn't a fan of that. So I'm going to jump outside the ring here and see if we can get a weapon or anything, see where we could go to push our limits. Raging Andy Organ doesn't want me outside, so he throws me back in, but so far so good. We got outside the ring. It seems like a normal wrestling game. Now here you can see me try to go for a weapon, and then I try to go run up the ramp, take the match up there, and I thought I was going to be able to until it blocks me with an invisible barrier. So apparently we cannot go up the ramp. I don't know if this changes in the Falls Count Anywhere mode. I doubt it. I feel like in this game they want to keep it strictly to around the ring, which is kind of I'm going to dock them for that, because I want to be able to move around freely and be able to take the match where I want, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I can't just bring them back to the ring and pin them. So I'm going to dock them for that. I think that's kind of a bad look. I don't want to be confined to just around the ring and the ring. That's not a fun game for me. So I'm a high-flying character, gonna make some high-flying moves here. Hit him with the kind of drop kick clothesline. I don't know what happened there. Now at this point I started to get frustrated because I use so many different button combinations that I thought I was going to be able to find all these crazy cool moves and be able to see the moves I knew from the past from Jeff Hardy or Greg Hardy, and that wasn't the case. I found myself pressing so many combinations and only discovering a couple different maneuvers, which wasn't really fun for me. I thought that was kind of lame. So it seems like they haven't really put a lot of thought into the maneuvers and only have some basic ones that you can use. Now, I mean, if you play this religiously and know of a way to figure out all the maneuvers, or have figured out that there is way more maneuvers than I'm leading on to be, then please just comment below and let me know. I just haven't played this game enough, and I don't really want to go through the tutorial to figure them all out. I thought usually wrestling games you could just, you know, press different button combinations and figure out new maneuvers, but this wasn't the case in this game. So far we've tried to go up the ramp, can't do that. We tried to go into the crowd, can't do that. Tried to pick up weapons from under the ring, and that wasn't possible either. So at this point I'm kind of figuring out that I'm starting not to like this game. It's become very basic. To be honest, it plays like a or it has the freedom and options of a mobile game, and that's just not something you want to see from a console game about wrestling. You want to be able to move freely like they do on TV. You want to be able to roam and wrestle and have an entertaining match. Now, what I just said will factor in at the end of this match here, so we'll talk about it then, but it just, they don't set you up right to have a successful, entertaining match and to pretty much just have fun. Got my finisher here, so I'm gonna climb up to the top rope and try to give Raging Andy Organ the Hardy Bomb, and let's see if we can be successful. We hit it, and we're gonna go for the cover here. So we're gonna try and end this match. 1, 2, 3. So for some reason they give him an extra couple seconds there to kick out at the end, which I'm not a fan of. You know, if just make it regular and let them kick out if they're going to kick out. You don't need to give them extra time. It already seems hard enough to damage someone in this game. It pretty much took me a 20-minute recording to get him down to the point where I could pin him because he kept kicking out. So I don't know, I'm just not a fan of that in general. Just kind of let it play out as it's going to play out. So let's take a look at the aftermatch here and see how we did, and see how many stars we got on this rating. And this is where I meant it's going to factor in with the entertainment value. Alright, so we got 2.5 stars. Not a fan, just because they haven't set me up correctly to give myself 5 stars. I mean, there might be some different moves that we can do, you know, to get our star rating up a little bit, and then we go over to our star rating and see why we get 2.5 stars. We only got 485 for psychology, which I'm guessing means that we didn't outsmart our opponent enough. Our excitement value was 637, moment 1,500, variety 3,065, and we got a total score of 5,687, which apparently is worth a 2.5 star rating. And I don't agree with that, because no matter how many button combinations I pressed, I could not do more than 2 or 3 moves. Maybe it's different with different wrestlers, but being Greg Hardy, I was only able to muster up a 2.5 star performance because there's just really nothing that you can do about it. Like, you don't have the moveset to get the stars up, and the recovery time for your opponent is way too quick. By the time I even get up to the top rope, Raging Andy Organ was already getting up and coming over to hit me. So my overall thoughts and experience from this game is it's more of a grinded out game for users who want to get on and just complete a game and get all the challenges done, unlock all the costumes. It's not for people who want to jump on for fun over and over again and have different stuff that you could check out. If you're in love with story, options, freedom in gaming, then this game is not for you and you should stick to WWE 2K. But if you're more of the just grinded out gamer and want to complete a game and make sure that you beat it, then I guess completing the challenges and unlocking all the costumes means that you beat this game, and this is going to be for you. As far as for me, my thoughts on this gameplay is I would stick with WWE 2K for now, because this isn't a game I could see myself playing again or jumping on over and over for. Alright guys, you saw my thoughts. It is now time to see what we rate 5-star wrestling Regenesis on the junk scale. And there it is, the garbage can. Overall, we chose 5-star wrestling Regenesis to be a garbage can due to the fact that it lacked options and freedom in the game, and lacked the ability to bring users back for a second time. Now, don't get me wrong, it was fun, I thought it was funny, great idea, and I had a blast playing it for the first time, but overall it's not something I could see myself playing over and over again. With that said, serious parody, you can make this into a great game and maybe overthrown, maybe, just maybe overthrown WWE 2K if you just put a little more thought and work into it and try to make it a little more serious than you may have intended, no pun intended. But as I'm talking to you right now, 5-star Wrestling Regenesis will be a middle of the road game with slight chance to make it off of the junk scale. If you guessed it was going to be a garbage can today, or have any other ideas for us to put on the trash review, please let us know in the comments below. And you trash bags know what you need to do now. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to turn those post notifications on. I'm Cadman 2013, and as always, stay trashy.
So you can see Super Trash Gamers, we the STG, yeah you know we got rolling CC311, Cadman 2013, cut Sean through in 6, you know he a G, and if you think we suck I'd have to agree, come on Super Trash Games, yeah you know we the 3, and it's a wrap if you against the STG.